Just an ordinary day at Tooth Defenders headquarters.
Hey! Pop quiz. Who should floss their teeth? Everyone should floss.
Not so fast, super genius. Everyone's teeth should get flossed. But if you're younger than 8, a grown-up should do it for you.
You!
What a lucky me! My teeth. I love them, that's what I said. Teeth. The brightest thing in my head. My teeth.
Could this be the end of Tooth City?
It's been so much fun! See you never!
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
How many times do I have to tell you not to just come into my house anytime you feel like...
Akizia kama mama kanakuwaga na kelele yake.
Tangu nianze kutumia Pika cooking oil, hata kabla sijaandaa chakula, kila mtu ataka kuonja. Nikuongeze zingine.
Oh my days. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Life is wonderful. Never understood. Life can be this good.
When the world changed, it made us go back to the simple joys and love the little things even more, like serving up your best, eating together, and sharing more. Now, we'll take nothing for granted and always remember to taste the simple joys. Coca-Cola. Taste the simple joys.
This is NTV.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. You're watching NTV at 1. My name is Zainab Ismail. Now, the Public Procurement Regulatory Authority, that is PPRA, has accused KEMSA CEO Jonah Manjari and the Health Permanent Secretary Susan Mochache for the procurement mess at the authority. In a preliminary investigation report, the authority's Director General Maurice Juma said the distribution of opportunities to supply KEMSA with COVID-19 related items was skewed to favor some suppliers without evidence of justification. He pointed out Megascope Healthcare Limited as an example, which was awarded 3 tenders for the supply of face masks, despite others awarded 1 tender for the supply of the same item. Juma also disclosed the frustrations the authority has gone through in probing the procurement irregularities at KEMSA. He said that KEMSA has failed to deliver tender documents relating to 25 procurement processes, despite several letters seeking them for verification. PPRA launched investigations into the procurement at KEMSA following a directive by the committee. All right, and we'll get more intensive report later on in our subsequent bulletins with regard to that. Now, Migori County Assembly proceedings were this morning disrupted by chaos following the reinstatement of the former Deputy Speaker George Omamba. Omamba was impeached by his colleagues in May last year, together with Assembly Clerk Tom Opere. Bukira East MCA Matthews Chacha and Emmanuel Abala took over in acting capacity amid court orders. As our correspondent in the region, Bernardo Juang, informs us, a female MCA was allegedly injured in the chaos and is now joining us live for more details. Bernard?
Well, thank you very much. As the impeachment motion that is expected to be tabled at the county assembly still not known at the day that it will be tabled at the county assembly. Today, chaos erupted at the Migori County Assembly, whereby MCAs supporting the reinstated Deputy Speaker George Omamba collided at the county assembly with those who impeached him last year, and of course they are saying that the main reason they impeached Omamba was lack of respect for his colleagues. And of course today at the county assembly, it started yesterday after Omamba himself came with the letter from court indicating that he is ready to take over from where he left and is now good to continue with his duties as Deputy Speaker. And of course today, after when the fight erupted at the county assembly, one of the MCAs, nominated MCA Mary Ogodo, was broke her left hand, and of course she's currently getting medication at Ombo Mission Hospital. And of course we have one of the MCAs who witnessed what happened at the county assembly. Join me here, Mheshimiwa. It happened you are the same people who impeached George Omamba, and of course he came back yesterday. What happened? Why did you reject him?
Well, Honorable George Omamba was elected sometimes back in 2017, and the honorable members expected him to deliver the services and provide leadership as required. And you know, the members in the county assemblies, all of them are leaders. So if you don't provide leadership as expected by the members, we all have the rights to also get you off the job. So that's exactly what happened. He was somehow not respectful to the members. He could not conduct the businesses as required, as expected by the members. And so we all felt that we have to get him off the job. Actually, during the impeachment, he only managed only one vote. Out of 57, he got only one vote. So unfortunately, he had gone to the court to actually block the impeachment process. And he was given some orders to block that particular impeachment. And so, but you see, this is a political process. So because we had started it as a house, we felt that we cannot be stopped by the court.
Mheshimiwa, does this has something to do with the Obado's impeachment? Because
it completely doesn't have any relationship with the impeachment of the governor. This is something that started way back in 2019. Somewhere early in 2018, right? Somewhere in March, actually. So it has no relationship at all.
So what's the way forward?
In my opinion, as honorable member of the House, is that we feel we need to respect the court orders, first of all. Then if we have to go back to the processes now properly, we can still do the same. We can still get him off because it is us who gave him the job. We can still take it back.
Are you ready to work with him?
For now, me as a honorable member of the House, yes, I will.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You've just heard from one of the MCAs who also participated in the former Deputy Speaker George Omamba's impeachment. He's saying that he has explained why they impeached him. And of course, today the chaos erupted. And of course, they are saying that they will now have to respect court orders and as they continue with their duties. And of course, he has clarified that this has got nothing to do with Governor Obado's impeachment. Remember the day that the motion, Governor Okoth Obado's impeachment motion will be tabled at the county assembly, is still not known. Remember, this will be giving you more details in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Bernardo Juang there from Migori. Now, Kapsaret Member of Parliament Oscar Sudi has pleaded not guilty to the charges of hate speech and offensive conduct that have been preferred against him. This is following the remarks he made on the 7th of September against the president. Our reporter in Nakuru, Ruth Sarmoi, has more details and is now joining us live for more of those details. Ruth?
Well, Zainab Sudi appeared before Senior Principal Magistrate Lilian Arika of the Nakuru Law Courts, and he pleaded not guilty to 2 counts of hate speech and 1 of offensive conduct. Apparently, the prosecution dropped 3 charges that had been preferred against him earlier on. Those charges were including assaulting a police officer, resisting arrest, and the illegal firearm that had been found in his vehicle. So from the court today, the session today, the terms, the bail or bond terms that had been put up against the legislator by the High Court following the appeal that he had made, claiming that he was not satisfied by the decision that had been given earlier on by the magistrate court, saying that he should be detained to allow the prosecution to have more time to conclude their investigations. So the High Court on Friday last week decided to release the MP on bail, 500,000 shillings cash bail and 1 million bond. So those charges have been extended by the same court today, and also the MP has not also been allowed to address any public gathering until the case will be heard on the 6th of October. So back to you, Zainab. That's all I had for you.
All right, thanks, Ruth Sarmoi there from Nakuru, and we'll be getting more later on. Now, the National Police Service has denied allegations of an attempt on the life of Kakamega Senator Cleopas Malala, who has made allegations that he is being watched and followed by officers from the Directorate of Criminal Investigations. In a joint parliamentary sitting, DCI George Kinoti, while refuting the claims, noted that the senator's remarks over the matter are tainting the image of the department. Malala has claimed that a vehicle connected to the DCI office in Limuru has been trailing him since his arrest a few weeks ago. IG of Police Hilary Mutyambai also denied the allegations, stating that the service had no malicious intent in how the matter was handled.
If we can be writing to this honorable court about an assassination, about killing, and then this officer is involved, how would we face you people? When it is established, I came to write here. Even if I'm not on earth, God is in heaven, He's seeing me. We are talking about death. I wouldn't see, I wouldn't imagine. This officer said very clearly, he has never attended any meeting in the Namanda. He said, first, we only confronted him with names, no telephone numbers, no photograph. First of all, remember, we have put in our report, when we asked Honorable Cleopas Malala to give us the photographs. I even volunteered to say, if it's our own officers, show them, and let me be ashamed. Look, you are hiding these police officers. Who doesn't know them? And then I'll be accused of concealing on all that. He refused. I only saw them here through the phone. And even when he came, he was very cooperative. And we went very well in the statement recording. When we requested the same, he declined.
And we wanted to develop a working relationship. And it's also upon you. We have actually developed a very strong internal affairs unit, where we have complained from any member of public against police. We don't want the National Police Service to carry a blame. We want an officer to carry that blame. And I tell you right now, as we talk, the Internal Affairs Unit is the most feared unit within the police. Most feared. It's police of police. It polices police. Policing the police. And now it's actually very effective.
Now, when and exactly how to reopen schools after nearly 7 months remains the greatest headache for the government in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. A stakeholders meeting has resolved to reopen soon, and teachers have been instructed to return next week to begin planning for resumption of learning activities. Well, tonight, Team Coverage Wednesday turns the lens on back to school, the great education crisis. Here is a sneak preview.
The decision to open schools amid the pandemic is a difficult one.
Would you take your children to school if we open them tomorrow? Me, I would not take my grandchild near any school.
I think it's about time to
call our children back to school.
We are therefore now asking our teachers to report back to school.
Swali ninalojiuliza mimi kama mwalimu, tunaenda kufanya nini?
Bado tunashtuka na mfumo wa serikali na tangazo la kufungua shule.
Hili janga la corona limefanya wazazi wengine wamepoteza kazi. Je, shule zikifunguliwa pesa zitatoka wapi?
If you have no fee, come back to the public school.
Now, Kenya should put in place measures to increase agricultural productivity, cut its huge food import bill and create employment opportunities. According to Kiambu Governor James Nyoro, low productivity occasioned by, among other factors, lack of proper farm inputs and technology have left a huge gap between what the country produces and what it consumes. The governor spoke during the flagging of 1,000 metric tons of cereal fertilizer donated to 10,000 farmers in Kiambu and Murang'a counties by Yara East Africa in order to enhance production during the October-December short rains.
Every year, the country is spending in excess of 250 billion to bring food that otherwise could be produced here. By being produced here, it creates jobs here. It makes sure that our money, our foreign exchange is saved. But unfortunately, we have not been able to do that because of several reasons. One is productivity. Our yields per unit area is very low. If it is maize, you hear that we are getting 8 bags or 10 bags per acre. Whereas we have the potential, and we have seen you can do 30 or 40 bags.
With all this nice weather, nice sun, rain, expertise, we cannot be importing food in the coming century again. So we want this to be the catalyst for all players, our partners, public and private sector, to join hands so that we can drive the knowledge to the farmers. And now they can know what kind of fertilizer to use. And when they start getting 30 bags of maize per acre, we will have this food insecurity back in our back.
Now, worshippers of Kariobangi's South-based God Mercy Church turned the Kikuyu Law Court prisons into a church pending a determination of a leadership case. The congregants have been split into 2 groups, each having a preferred leader. This is after the leader of the church, Joseph Maina, passed on. Congregants showed up at the Kikuyu Law Court, where the case was supposed to be heard, before breaking in praise, songs and prayers. The faithful have also raised concerns regarding the choice of court in Kikuyu in Kiambu County and not in Nairobi, where the church is based. The case was postponed to the 29th of September. Well, the Union of Domestic Hotels, Educational Institutions and Hospital Workers, KUDEHA, is now seeking the indulgence of President Uhuru Kenyatta on the issue of salaries of their members, which they claim have not been remitted since school closed in March. On his part, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha has insisted that the monies have been paid out over the last 6 weeks.
Very humble request to His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya. These over 200 persons in Kenya who form a land in employment stakeholder, they need your attention. They need the quickest way of how they can be paid. Their 6 months salary, April, May, June, July, August, and now September. 6 good months. They are committed, they are willing, and they are continuing to work, and they are very loyal to make sure that they work.
Well, the Kenya Film Commission is focusing on building capacity and empowering the youth in a bid to develop talent and expand audience. KFC's CEO Timothy Owase says the commission has established a satellite account survey room to allow film students access national heritage and culture data. Owase spoke during the signing of a memorandum of understanding between KFC and Daystar University. Daystar Vice Chancellor Professor Laban Ayero says the institution will maximize on KFC's mandate of develop and market the film industry.
For a very long time, the film industry has been on the back burner, and today we are saying that with the viability seen in the creative economy as a whole. We are clear on our mind that we want to attain the key deliverables envisioned in Vision 2030 and the Big Four agenda. So our key objectives in this collaboration, first, to have a vibrant film industry, you need skills. The graduates coming out of Daystar, the Commission will be in a position to do what we call industry placements and also to grow the number of expertise within the sector.
We will be having an opportunity for placement of our students at KFC. We will build the capacity of the staff. We'll also build the capacity of the artists through this collaboration. And more importantly, as the CEO has said, we'll be contributing to the dictates of Vision 2030.
All right, let's take a quick break here on NTV at 1. We still have plenty more. Stay with us.
Mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers zimetengenezwa mahususi kusaidia udongo na mimea. Zimetengenezwa kwa taaluma ya hali ya juu ya kisayansi. Zaidi ya wakulima 500,000 nchini wanaweza kupata mbolea hizi kwa bei nafuu. Zinapatikana katika maduka ya kuuza pembejeo kwa viwango vya kilo 1 hadi kilo 50. Wakulima ambao wametumia mbolea za Mavuno Fertilizers wamepata ongezeko la mazao yao kwa 30%. Wasiliana nasi leo kwa simu ili kujua mengi kuhusu namna mbolea za mavuno zinavyosaidia kuongeza uzalishaji chakula nchini.
Sona moja imetengenezwa kwa njia spesheli ili kupambana na maumivu kwa haraka. Sona moja ina aspirin kama kiungo. Sona moja, kitulizo kamili. Maumivu yakizidi, pata ushauri wa daktari.
Hey guys, so I'm about to head out to meet the girls. As you know, this is the outfit of the day. We're about to go out and we're going to meet the girls.
Devki Steel Mills have provided quality building material with the widest range of associated steel products over the last 3 decades. Look for the Devki mark on a widest selling reinforcement, twisted and TMT rebars, which are KBS certified and have the diamond mark of quality. Devki Steel, Kenya's most trusted steel company.
I'm really glad that throughout this period of COVID, we are seeing great innovations that have come out of this country, which is really key and growing in this sector, which has been affected. They now have actually begun to innovate. They've started new films that are now being shown in different car parks where you can drive in and actually be able to experience and enjoy movies.
So, 25th September 2020, the Commission will be hosting a premiere of a local film, Uradi, which will take place at the Galleria Mall drive-in. Turn out in large numbers and let's watch and support local content.
As a country, we are actually taking these steps to move us forward.
Well, thank you for staying with us. You're watching NTV at 1. Now, in a bid to ensure hygiene standards are maintained, especially by children at the Mama Fatuma Goodwill Children's Home in Isli, the Israeli Embassy has extended a helping hand. The embassy has donated water cleaning equipment to the children's home. According to Ambassador Obed Joseph, the technology will go a long way in helping the children access clean water for their day-to-day activities, including washing their hands in the fight against COVID-19.
We are happy to hear from Akelo today. Mama Fatuma.
we have to always celebrate the good in our society, because if we don't celebrate the good, we lose hope. When we celebrate the good, then we look at the bad, we can find the direction to solve even that which ails us.
This is a very, very high-level technology that is found in very, very few places around the world that turns any water into drinking water. So by that...
While in other news making headlines beyond our borders, the trial of Sudan's ousted ex-president Omar al-Bashir over the military coup that brought him to power in 1989 has been postponed for the second time in October. Omar al-Bashir and a number of officials from his regime stand accused of plotting the 1989 Islamist-backed military coup which brought Bashir to power. Bashir is also wanted by the International Criminal Court for committing genocide, ethnic cleansing and other crimes against humanity during the conflict in the western Darfur region, which claimed more than 300,000 deaths and displacement of millions of people. If convicted, Bashir and other co-accused, including former top officials, could face the death penalty. And police on Tuesday used tear gas and water cannons to break up a protest by hundreds of people in Cameroon's economic capital Douala, calling for an end to bloodshed in the country's Anglophone regions. Several parties, including that of opposition leader Maurice Kamto, had called for peaceful marches against 87-year-old President Paul Biya, who has ruled the Central African country with an iron fist for nearly 40 years. The marchers call for a ceasefire and negotiations to end a long-running conflict between Anglophone separatists and security forces that has claimed more than 3,000 lives. The protesters also sought a reform to the electoral system. The police and soldiers had taken up positions in several cities the night before. On September 7th, Biya called regional elections for December 6th, prompting the call for Tuesday's marches. And Mali celebrated 60 years as an independent nation on the day following the announcement of the new president and vice president of the post-coup transition. During the ceremony, the head of the ruling junta urged the economic community of West African states to lift the sanctions it has placed on Mali. Dubbed the big one for his imposing height, Mali's future interim president Bando has served dictators and presidents alike throughout his long military career, is set to be sworn in on Friday. And with the 75th session of the United Nations General Assembly taking place this week, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa stressed the urgent need to strengthen the UN role in confronting challenges. Ramaphosa has also urged for more inclusion of African countries in the UN, as well as allocation of resources to boost the African economies that have dropped due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
It is in the spirit of this new global deal that we call on the international community and our international partners to support the rollout of a comprehensive stimulus package for African countries. This will enable African countries to not only mitigate the health impacts of COVID-19, but to aid us in the immense task of rebuilding our shattered economies.
The United States death toll from the coronavirus has crossed the 200,000 mark. This comes just weeks before voters decide if President Donald Trump will stay in office. The country has so far recorded 7,098,291 positive cases of COVID-19. At the same time, the UK government has announced tightened restrictions to stem a rising tide of coronavirus cases, ordering pubs in England to shut early and abandoning calls for people to return to workplace to help kickstart the battered economy. All right, let's now take a look at stories making headlines in the world of sports. And former Kenya Motorsport Federation Chairman Jim Kahumbura will head a technical committee that will study and advise on protocols geared towards resumption of sports countrywide. Motorsport is one of the disciplines that were cleared for the resumption when CS Amin Mohammed unveiled the final protocols. Kahumbura, who is also the 1997 Kenya national group in drivers champion, will lead a team composed of technical experts in various disciplines of the sport. Kenya Motorsports Federation Chairman Phineas Kimathi said that the federation remains committed to ensuring safety of competitors, officials, spectators and the media. The KCB National Rally 2020 Championship had only ran 2 events in Stony Athi, which Carl Flash Tundo won, and Nyahururu, where Baldev Chagar emerged victorious before COVID-19 restrictions were announced by the government in March.
As he leaves, you can wave bye-bye and thank him for leading an amazing team for the national team. God bless you.
Manchester United moved into the League Cup 4th round with a 3-0 win at Luton, while West Ham boss David Moyes and 2 of his players contracted the coronavirus ahead of the 5-1 victory against Hull as the pandemic caused chaos on Tuesday. Moyes, Josh Cullen Murray scored 28 points as the Denver Nuggets held off a ferocious late fight back from the LA Lakers to roll back into contention in the Western Conference Finals series on Tuesday. Murray nailed 2 crucial late 3-pointers in the closing minutes as Denver held on for a 114-106 victory in Game 3 to reduce the Lakers' lead to 2-1 in the best-of-7 series. The Lakers had trailed by 20 points with just over 10 minutes remaining, but were whittled away. The Denver lead to just 3 points with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left on the clock in Orlando. Game 4 in the series takes place in Orlando on Thursday. The winner of the Western Conference will play either the Boston Celtics or Miami Heat.
Gets his first one to go.
Good deep, but JaVale McGee on that play, getting a hand in on the Joker.
He swiped it. LeBron finishes on the Davis.
Spanish striker Alvaro Morata returned to Juventus on loan from Atletico Madrid, the Turin club announced. The much-travelled Morata, who is just 27, played for Juventus from 2014 to 2016, scoring 27 goals in 93 appearances. He graduated through the youth system at Real Madrid and had 2 stints at the club, either side of his first spell at Juventus. He has also had a spell at Chelsea before joining Atletico, initially on loan. He has joined Juventus on a season-long loan. Meanwhile, Barcelona striker Luis Suarez is set to join La Liga rivals Atletico Madrid, as Barca were happy to release him for free, providing he did not join certain other top clubs. The Uruguayan agreed terms on a reduced salary with Atletico after a move to Juventus fell through because of passport issues. All right, and that's all we had lined up for you this hour. Many thanks for watching. My name is NTV Kenya. Do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.